On Friday, April 4th, a door creaked open. Not in the world outside, but within the labyrinth of my mind. What began as a flicker, a midnight whisper, a dream I never dared to chase, has now become the most ambitious creation I've ever brought to life. Since mid-November, I wandered through a maze of sound and story, endless corridors of questions, doorways that opened only to reveal more shadows, more echoes. For nearly 5 months, I carved away at chaos like an unshaped slab of marble, chasing a form I could feel but never fully see. And now, at last, it stands before you. Echoes of the lost, a world born from darkness, stitched together by obsession and released into the unknown. A world I am here to explain to you today. All stories begin somewhere. Ours begins with a nameless face, introduced in the first song, All in My Head. Oh, it's all in my head, yeah. On the surface, they appear ordinary, but inside, they're unraveling, tormented by doubt, hatred, anxiety, haunted by voices only they can hear. The demons whisper, the machines churn, and the mind fractures. Songs 2 and 3, Machine and Torn Apart, reveal the descent. The inside of my mind is a terrible cry. Our protagonist doesn't fight back, however, they surrender. The machines, I don't fight, I don't speak, I just say what they tell me. The world feels hollow. Hope, a distant myth. In Torn Apart, they hint at escape, at ending something. It makes me want to just exist this life. Whether it's this life or just torment, that's for you to decide. One thing is clear, they want out, now. But how do you leave a nightmare when it lives inside of you? But as with all stories soaked in shadow, a light eventually flickers in. Enter the second character. They find our broken protagonist chained in the darkness, lost, numb, fading. We know very little of this newcomer, but one thing is undeniable. The connection is instant. Magnetic. A whisper that maybe, just maybe, hope isn't dead. Take Control marks the turning point. A quiet rebellion begins. Our protagonist sees, for the first time, that the demons can be fought. Take control of my story. Take control of my story. Machines don't control me. And with that, something deeper grows. A bond. The sound shifts. Light cuts through the gloom. Can't Get Enough and I Love You Every Day bloom like fragile thank you notes. Echoes of love, warmth, of something worth holding on to. But light in a world like this, it never comes without cost. Obsession fades and silence creeps in. With character 2 now etched into their life, character 1 turns inward. Alone with their thoughts, they begin to see the wreckage, the scars carved by their own hands, the pieces they let be torn apart. In Reflections of Me, a shift. Staring into their lover's eyes, they catch a glimpse of someone new, lighter, stronger. It's the first time they truly see themselves, and like what they see. The bright as night can be. First, when you haven't hurt and pain hits, unravel the aftermath. The pain is still there, but it no longer owns them. They've bled, broken, and buried the past. What remains is someone almost unrecognizable, reborn from the ruins. But all light comes at a price, and every story, no matter how bright it burns, must face its end. In Light My Darkness, character 1 is finally whole, at peace with who they are and who they love. The world feels steady, almost warm. But then comes tragic news of crash, a wreck, a whisper of tragedy. Then I heard someone say, a wreck took place today. Now I'm begging, pleading, tell me that it's not you. Panic floods in, prayers rise. Please, not them. But these are the times confirms the unthinkable. Character 2 is gone. Here I stand at your grave with a soul I can't save. grief shatters the calm. Just as life began to make sense, it's ripped apart again. Yet something's changed. This time, they don't collapse. They remember the words, the love, the transformation, the promise to keep living. With all good things, an end must come. Or maybe this isn't the end at all, but perhaps the start of a new beginning. In the end, I left the characters faceless on purpose. Their pain, their love, their growth. It's meant to be yours as well. While the story follows a map that I built in my head, the details were always meant to blur. For some, this might echo a journey towards faith. For others, a love story, or a reflection of grief that they've lived through. People have told me how these are the times mirrored moments they never thought music could touch. That's why I kept things vague, so anyone could step into either pair of shoes and walk their own path through the sound. Whether you find yourself in the story or simply get lost in the music, I hope it means something to you. Echoes of the Lost, streaming everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, wherever you listen. And wherever you are, enjoy the journey, for this might not be the end.